the Canada Heavy Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 5 and several RCMP units, including police dog services and drone operators. Since Saturday, because we treat all missing person files as suspicious until our investigation leads us to determine otherwise, our Major Crimes Unit has been engaged. It's been an all-hands-on-deck effort using every available resource and tool. Since the search began on May 2nd, it has been concentrated in the Garlic Road area and has covered 4 square kilometers of heavy, wooded, rural terrain. Up to 160 trained volunteer searchers, along with many others, have been involved in the search each day. Tens of thousands of search hours have been dedicated to scouring the area.
Sorry, guys.
GSR has confirmed that over 100 tracks have been laid using GPS and grid searches.
Sorry, I'm trying to set this up to where you can see it better.
Lily and Jack have also included 2 memorable missing person alerts, posting the children's photos and information on Nova Scotia RCMP website and social media accounts. Our social accounts have
It's the best I got now. Can you all see it good?
And releasing information to local media as well as reporters across the country. Lily and Jack have made headlines from coast to coast.
Can someone screen record this as it's going on so that I'll have it for afterwards, please?
Speaking with family and community members to gather tips and other information that could help locate the children. We have not received any confirmed reports of sightings. Lily and Jack's family has been provided with regular updates on the search and on the missing person investigation. They've also been afforded supports. As of today, May 7th, the active search efforts to locate Lily and Jack will be scaled back. We're transitioning from a full-scale search to searches in more specific spaces that have already been searched by our teams. We want to circle back to increase the probability that all clues have been found. And when transitioning from an active search to a scaled-back search, the probability of survival is taken into consideration. I want to assure you that our missing persons investigation continues.
Oh, you're welcome.
We're not packing up, and we're not giving up. Our investigation is broad, and it won't end until we know where Lily and Jack are and can bring them home. We'll continue to investigate and chase leads for as long as and as hard as we have to. We have the best investigators working every aspect of the file. We continue to appeal to anyone who have information related to our investigation and who has not yet spoken to us to contact the Pictou County District RCMP at 902-485-4333 or Crime Stoppers. Before I close, I want to reiterate that our hearts go out to Lily and Jack's family, to the community, and the people who've worked so incredibly hard to date. Many of us have children of our own and have want nothing more than to reunite.
They have not said that the mom and dad have been arrested yet, no. They have not talked about the parents being in custody or anything like that, no. Now, the press is going to have questions, but they may ask that during this.
I'll now provide his remarks in French. Merci à tous d'être présents aujourd'hui. Tout d'abord, nos pensées vont à la famille et les proches de
So next up is the press conference questions. The press is going to be able to ask questions, and they're going to answer them. So I'm hoping that they will... sorry if you need French. This is all in French right now. The press is going to be able to ask questions here in just a second. And so I'm hoping that they'll ask about the parents. But no, the parents have not said that the parents are in custody yet. And basically what he said was they're going to scale back the search. The kids have not been found. They are going to still keep investigating, but that they are going to scale back the search. They don't have any suspects. The parents are not currently in custody. Now the press is getting ready to ask questions here in just a second. Let me flip it so you can see me. The press is getting ready to ask questions here in just a second, and hopefully they'll ask about the parents, but no, the parents, as far as we know, are not in custody. They are scaling back the search, which is what this press conference was going to be about, is scaling back the search. And the kids have not been found. So that is basically, if you missed it, that's all. Right now they're talking in French. So unless anyone needs the French part, we're just talk here. It's been 6 days. So honestly, the potential of survival is low unless someone did take them. But yeah, that's where we're at so far. I'm hoping that the press is going to ask about the parents, and I'm hoping that that we'll have an answer yes or no that the parents are in custody. My opinion, it's a rumor. We'll see. What does scaling the search back means? It doesn't mean that they are closing the case, but it means that they are taking some of their resources away, that they're not going to be searching as hard. They've been searching 24/7 with hundreds of people and officers and dogs, and so they're going to be scaling that back and taking some of those people back for other cases and other searches and things like that. They're still going to be investigating. They still are going to be looking into this. They're still going to be looking for the kids, but they're going to scale it back now that it's been 6 days. Let me turn this back around because they're getting ready to do the press. And I'm hoping the press will have some answers. I try not to give my opinion unless I say it's my opinion. Most of what I talk about on here is what the press has been saying or factual information. Sometimes I'll give my opinion, but I try not to. I can turn it up, but it's in French. They're doing it in English and then in French where this is in Canada. So, I mean, it's hard to say whether the parents were involved, to be honest with you, because people react so differently in situations like this. I'll turn it up since you speak French.
À compter d'aujourd'hui, le 7 mai, les efforts de recherche actifs pour trouver Lily et Jack passeront d'une recherche à grande échelle à des
Thank you. Yes, if they say anything is
espaces
significant in French, write it down because I don't speak French. That'd be
des
great.
espaces qui ont déjà été fouillés par nos équipes. Nous voulons faire demi-tour pour augmenter la probabilité que tous les
Now it is going to go back to English here in just a second for the press questions.
Lors de la transition à une recherche réduite, la probabilité de survie est prise en compte. Je tiens à vous assurer que notre enquête sur les personnes disparues se poursuit. Nous ne faisons pas nos valises et nous n'abandonnons pas. Notre enquête est vaste et ne s'arrêtera pas tant que nous ne saurons pas où se trouvent Jack et Lily et que nous ne les ramènerons pas à la maison. Nous continuerons à enquêter et à suivre les pistes aussi longtemps et aussi intensément qu'il le faudra. Nous avons des meilleures enquêtes qui travaillent sur tous les aspects de ce dossier. Nous continuons à demander à toute personne qui ne pourrait avoir les renseignements liés à notre équipe et qui ne nous a pas encore parlé de communiquer, s'il vous plaît, avec le district de comté de Pictou de la GRC ou avec échec au crime. Avant de conclure, je tiens à rappeler.
Some people are asking why they're speaking in French. It's because this is in Canada. They're doing English and then they're translating in French. So they're going to go back to English here in just a second. This is just the translation in French. Media will have a chance to ask questions here in just a second, and that will be in French and English.
We will now proceed with the question and answer period. For the benefit of all participants, please provide your name, the outlet you represent, and to whom your question is directed. We will be limiting the question and answer period to one question and one follow-up. Nous allons maintenant procéder à la période de questions et de réponses. Nous vous demandons, s'il vous plaît, de vous limiter à une question et à un suivi.
April, that's okay. I'm going to do a video right after this, just summarizing what's going on.
Que vous représentez et à qui vous dirigez votre question. Donc, on va commencer à ma gauche ici, so we'll start on my left over here if someone has a question on this side.
Yeah. Here from for Radio-Canada. You said you're going over areas that you've already seen. What's the purpose of that? Before that, you were telling us you were extending the search, and if you could say it in French and English.
If you'd like to start in English, I'll repeat in French.
What we'll be doing is we'll be continuing on. Just because today the search is being scaled back, we still will continue on. And we will go back to areas that we feel we may need to re-look at, and we may expand out if there's any type of information that leads us to believe that we need to do that.
So if you'd like to follow up. Sorry, I'll...
Why, how will that help you to specifically go to places that have been...
I will give you my thoughts in a video, but for now I'll just let y'all hear this.
Because of the terrain, there could be different types of things that we may want to try and get back in if we are able to locate anything that may come up that the searchers didn't go catch the first time. But we will do everything we can to try and find Jack.
If you're just joining in, I'm going to do a summary video right after this is over.
Based on the weather, the season changes. We don't want to leave, and we're not leaving. It's just that this part of this search is being scaled back.
So, en français, on continue de faire la recherche.
Okay, so for those of you just joining in, they do it in English and then they have to translate it in French. She's saying the exact same thing they said in English, just in French because it is in Canada. So basically the question was, why are they scaling back, and why are they still going to be searching? And the answer basically was yes, just not quite as much.
On continue avec la recherche ici.
I will be doing a summary right after this video. When this is done, I'm writing notes down. I'll be doing a summary. I have to go take my bread out of the oven, so I'll be right back. I'm going to turn this up for you.
Incredibly exhaustive search.
For the next, 3 minutes, if I miss anything, let me know. I got to go take my bread out of the oven.
And having not found these children, having done a very thorough search, can you tell us the role of major crime in this and what you can tell us about that investigation?
Rob McCammon, Robert, and MCCAMON is the last name. So major crime became involved very early in the investigation. We're able to bring in some specialized knowledge and skill sets, and we help with the information management and decision making. As we scale back, as we've identified, there are certain areas that are going to be relooked at that could contain a confined area.
Okay, I'm back.
Perhaps, and maybe need some more specialized search areas. But I'll leave that to the search crews to expand on. And we're going to continue pursuing any leads or information that comes in, and the stuff that we do have. We have engaged in all areas of the RCMP. All tools that are available to us are being considered and engaged when appropriate.
Do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, as a follow-up, that I guess the general population looks at it and says, you've searched very thoroughly this area.
Mm-hmm.
You would have found them if they were there, which then makes people, certainly on social media, people are assuming, rightly or wrongly, that there's a criminal element to this.
Sure.
And can you, I know, what can you tell me about that, your work on that?
Well, I can't really speculate on the investigation, obviously. That wouldn't be fair to the process. But we are constantly reviewing everything that's been done, looking at all different facets of available information, and we'll make decisions on that. I can't really comment on the details of that, but we will pursue every lead that becomes available and take it to where it needs to go.
So, is there a question? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, Nicholas again with CTC National News. You at first said it wasn't suspicious, you think the kids just wandered off. Now you're saying every missing person's investigation is considered suspicious. Is it still suspicious? Are there any suspects here?
Again, I'm not going to comment on the details of the investigation, but I will comment, when somebody goes missing and we become engaged as any police officer, not just major crime, we will look at all the details and make considerations on the information we have, right? When it comes to a missing person, we have to automatically consider are there people that have different charter implications and things like that? So we will automatically start to consider what evidence is pointing us towards a suspicious in nature. Again, I can't comment more than that, but every missing person case, we would approach it from the same process. A methodical collection and review of information with decisions based on that.
And the family has said they believe it's an abduction, or they suspect it's an abduction. Are there now any clues or anything leading you to think that might be possible?
If we had any information that led that way and we felt that we could provide anything with the public, we would have done that. We would have got that information out. We're working very closely with the family, and we will pursue every avenue.
It may end up cutting me off because it gave me a
comments, but anything that points
guideline restriction, so we'll see.
to address things that we can address.
CDC. I think this question is most appropriate to Staff Sergeant. You talked about survivor killer. I wanted to address that specifically, given the ages of the two missing children and the weather conditions in these three.
Yeah. So the incident command person with the RCMP, along with the search manager, at some point have to make a decision when would it scale back this search. and a number of factors would have to take consideration, and they would.
I'm turning around
based
for just a
upon,
second because I got a flag for
scientific
showing a
information
screen and
that
not
they have
myself.
to deem when is that time.
Basically, what they're talking about right now
A lot of those
is
factors,
he can't comment on a suspect. They said it was not suspicious. Now they're saying it's suspicious, and now they're saying they take all of the missing people's like claims and cases the same. So now they're saying it's suspicious, and they cannot comment on it further than that. They can't comment on a suspect or anything like that. So I'm going to turn it back around now. Hopefully they won't flag me again.
All those factors have to come into play, right? So we are scaling back because it's time to move to a different part of the search.
First Officer, Paul Holmes from CTV. Scale back versus active search. I know yesterday there was a number of, I don't know, 140 researchers on the ground before getting sworn before. I don't know, 140 researchers on the ground before getting sworn before square. New researchers, smaller area, larger area. How does that look going forward?
Yeah. So
Sorry,
to go to the first
my husband's
point,
calling me.
There's been a lot of searchers here, and we can't thank them enough for being here. They've given up. A lot of them have been here since day one, and they have given up. Some have taken time off work. Some have left their families behind, and we are very grateful for that. Saying that, we will look in on them and their senior managers to give us some recommendations of what else we can do. But we will take that and we will explore whatever we have and whatever we can do to check it in spots that need to be checked or whatever. But at this point in time, after today, we just won't see all these searches here.
Sure. Amy, if you're comfortable with that. Thank you.
I saw a person yesterday who was dressed like you, limping to be carried out. People were hot and sweaty to the South Nurses point while at her work. Can you talk about how rough it was in the woods? Like, it looks almost impossible. What did you see, or what did your people and your team see when you went into this wilderness?
Well, these woods, they are very thick. There's a lot of the hurricane damage from Fiona a couple years ago. And we've had teams struggling to get through areas, and I can't see anything more about the searchers. They're pushing through all of these areas, going through all of these deadfalls, going through waterways and anything possible just to cover their search areas. So we know that everything has been so thoroughly searched that it's time to, as they say, scale back. And we are exhausting people, and we're starting to see more injuries coming back the last couple of days. And it's hard terrain. Amy Hansen. SEN.
And I will note as well, having had the opportunity to participate yesterday in a helicopter search as well, it is immensely clear, looking from above, based on the orange tags on the trees, how thoroughly and meticulously the area has been searched, based on the indications you can see even from up in the air of how thorough the searches are. So I also give a hats off to the many searchers who have participated here in support of finding Lily and Jack. Yeah, would you like to go ahead?
Just with the search still continuing in the forest, is there evidence that the children are in the forest?
Very slowly.
Are radios able to pick up Staff Sergeant McKinney here with his train? Or? That's it, okay. We'll wait.
They're waiting for the train to pass. As they're waiting for the train to pass, let's talk about let's just summarize what they said. So basically, one of the reasons they're scaling back, from what I understand, is because there have been search crew and people that have gotten injured in the search for Jack and Lily. And if the terrain is that bad that adults are getting injured, I mean, it's not likely that children could survive that terrain. But the other officer was talking about how she was involved in a airplane search yesterday, and all the red tags is like where they've searched, and there was red tags everywhere, so they feel like the area has been thoroughly searched thus far. But they're waiting for the train to pass because the
I'll,
radios can't pick up the audio. So, any questions while we
note
wait?
as well, the reason
hold on.
that the train is passing by slowly is out of respect for the fact that Lily and Jack are missing here. So it's passing slow in order to have their staff be aware and note the ongoing missing person investigation happening in the area here. So that just
It's not a swampy area, but there are a lot of rivers and things like that from what I understand, but I am not 100% on that.
Awareness and the way that the information has spread so widely through Nova Scotia and Canada. So I think we were with your question. Okay. Have we found any evidence?
Yeah, so at one point there was a possible boot impression found, and I can tell you that the search and rescues then performed grid searches of that area and expanded out from that area in a meticulous fashion. They're focused and tight searches, and nothing else was found. It appeared it was a possible boot print of a smaller boot print. So when we have a possibility like that, that's when we exhaust that area as well. So make sure that was.
Sorry, I'm trying to plug my phone up because it's about to die. I don't want it to die on you all. So the only thing they have found so far is a small boot impression.
I don't believe cadaver dogs have been involved at this point yet.
Will they become involved? And I'd also like to circle back to Blair's question on survivability. If you could give a little bit more detail there about how you're making the equation, bringing in cadaver dogs and assessing survivability.
So cadaver dogs could be the next step in terms of the part when we talk about scaling back. That could be another option that we now look at using. And getting back to that point, I mean, that decision was made based on a lot of factors. And if we thought they were alive right now, we'd still be out there.
Does that mean that no plan yet?
Not that I'm worried. I can speak to of the cadaver dogs are coming or not. I can't speak to it.
Is there a question here? Do you two have something? Global? No? Okay.
That was a very powerful statement that they don't think they are alive.
Wondering if you can clarify. We heard major crime has been involved since Sunday. Is that correct?
Saturday morning.
Since Saturday. Okay. So do you believe the children have met foul play?
Do you want to talk?
Again, I'm not going to comment on specifics of the investigation. We're going to continue on, and when we get to a point that we've got information that we're able to make any decisions that are able to be public, we'll let you know at that time. But right now, I'm not going to comment on specifics. So.
Okay. So, but you don't believe the children are alive anymore?
No, based on the experts and the review of the facts, the inclement weather time right now is very low.
Okay, and can I just ask one more question about the scaling back of the search? Are you reducing the number of searchers out there, or is it being concentrated just with RCMP now, or how is that looking differently on the ground?
Yeah, absolutely. So the searchers will be finishing at the end of their operational period today, and now it'll come back to the Pictou District RCMP, and we'll make decisions and put in plans of how we move forward.
Did someone screen record that statement? Because I did not get to screen record that statement where he said that they don't think they're alive. If they did screen record it, can you please send it to my IG? I would greatly appreciate it.
Based on information that comes in and specifics in order to make things.
Yeah, he said they don't think they're alive.
And specific to areas that are pinpointed or specific to a search need in the area. So, I believe we've gone through the group for questions at this point. So out of respect for the police officers here and the many searchers who are still there, I'd like to conclude our media availability today. Oh, sorry, is there one person with... Sorry, my apologies, sorry.
Alex Serio, Streamer Radio. You mentioned you're circling back to find clues. You talked about the blueprints. Are there anything you're looking to find, expecting to find, or usually find in these situations?
We're looking for any type of clue, any information to help us out. And then we'll take that information and work forward from that.
second follow-up. Is the boot print still involved in the search process, or was that deemed to be not relevant?
I can't say they're not relevant, but it was the search was exhausted in that area, and we were not able to find any more clues or evidence of that area. So.
Thank you very much.
So repeat here, you just said to the previous question that the ground search and rescue is being called.
He does seem a little bit
The
annoyed.
volunteers are being called off after today.
Yes, at the end of the operational period today, they will be done.
Can you see that in French?
À la fin de la session aujourd'hui, les équipes de sauvetage qui sont ici, leur opération sera finie à la fin de la journée aujourd'hui, le 7 mai. Merci. Again, out of respect for the search and rescue teams that continue to be on scene here and the police as well, we conclude this media availability today. And our thoughts do remain with Lily and Jack's loved ones at this difficult time. Alors que nous concluons ce point de presse aujourd'hui, nos pensées vont aux proches de Lily et Jack dans cette période difficile. Nous vous remercions de votre attention aujourd'hui. Merci.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Let me turn this back. Oh, sorry. So I'm gonna get off here in just a second and make a follow-up video on my page. So summary, super quick. The search is basically being called off. They cannot comment on whether or not there's a suspect. They cannot comment on whether or not there was foul play involved. And they do not think that the kids are currently still alive. If they thought they were alive, they would continue the search. That is basically all we have at the moment. They haven't found anything other than that one boot print, and they exhausted that resource. So that is basically all we've got to this point currently. So I'm going to hop off here and go make a follow-up video on this. I'm going to be watching this case super closely, so if you want to keep updated, hit that follow button to, stay updated in this case, because I am fully invested in this now. So, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment of one of the videos. I am trying to look through all of them, and I have a lot of comments to get to, so we'll see what we can do, but I'm going to make a follow-up video. Thank you everyone for joining, and I will keep you up to date.